Buckle up and lean in, because the electric vehicle saga you've been following? It's about to take an unexpected and potentially game-altering turn. For years, the conversation has been dominated by one name, one company everyone believed held the uncontested throne of the EV kingdom, Tesla. But while the spotlight has been fixed there, a legendary giant of the automotive world, Toyota, has been operating with strategic patience, meticulously crafting a response that could fundamentally reshape the market. They've just pulled back the curtain on something so significant, so disruptive. It's sent a genuine jolt through the entire industry. Picture this: a family-friendly electric SUV, not a stripped-down commuter car, but a fully featured vehicle, hitting the market at a price point that defies belief, reportedly, costing about the same as a used car. This isn't just a new model launch, it's a potential paradigm shift. Could this be the long-anticipated challenge that could finally knock Tesla off its pedestal and usher in a new era of affordable electric mobility? Stick around, because we're diving deep into the strategy, the technology, and the sheer audacity of what Toyota is doing, and perhaps more intriguing, how the king of EVs himself is reportedly reacting. To truly grasp the weight of Toyota's current moves, we have to rewind to a critical moment. A brief and ultimately explosive partnership that laid the groundwork for the intense rivalry we see today. Back in 2010, it seemed like an unlikely but promising union. Toyota, the undisputed global leader in hybrid technology, with decades of manufacturing mastery, joining forces with Tesla, the agile, pioneering startup fueled by pure electric ambition. Toyota invested a substantial $50 million into the fledgling Tesla, a move that lent significant credibility to the young company. They even sold Tesla a former Toyota factory in California at what's been described as a bargain price. The goal was to marry Toyota's renowned quality and production scale with Tesla's cutting-edge electric powertrain expertise, culminating in the 2012 launch of the RAV4 EV, a vehicle that blended Toyota's proven SUV platform with Tesla's electric technology. But this grand experiment, this intended auto heaven collaboration, quickly devolved into friction and frustration. At the heart of the issue was a fundamental clash of corporate cultures and engineering philosophies. Toyota's approach was, and largely still is, built on a foundation of meticulous process, exhaustive testing, and a deep-seated, almost obsessive focus on safety and long-term reliability, processes honed over generations. Tesla, by stark contrast, operated with a Silicon Valley mindset: move fast, break things, innovate rapidly, and iterate constantly. Reports from inside the collaboration described engineers from both sides butting heads fiercely. Toyota's team, accustomed to years of validation, reportedly grew frustrated with Tesla's faster, perhaps less conservative battery design and integration methods. Tesla engineers, in turn, may have found Toyota's pace frustratingly slow and bureaucratic. The result? The RAV4 EV, despite its potential, never caught on. It was expensive, selling just a little over 2,500 units in total at a hefty sticker price around $49,800. By 2014, the alliance was clearly crumbling. The dissolution wasn't quiet, as Toyota strategically began to offload its stake in Tesla, a move that would later seem incredibly short-sighted financially, but perhaps prescient strategically. The professional distance quickly turned into public jabs. The verbal sparring started, setting the stage for their ongoing competition. Perhaps one of the most famous instances occurred in 2014 when Elon Musk publicly mocked Toyota's continued investment in hydrogen fuel cell technology, a different zero-emission pathway Toyota was exploring. He famously called their approach incredibly dumb and sarcastically dubbed hydrogen fuel cells fool cells. This was a direct challenge to Toyota's long-term strategic vision. Toyota, known for its measured responses, didn't shy away. Bob, Carter, then Toyota's senior vice president, fired back, defending hydrogen as a valid and intelligent zero-emission bet, and pointedly warning Musk against dismissing it so casually. This escalating feud wasn't just about different technologies. It represented a deep philosophical divide. Tesla's high stakes, all-in bet on battery electric disruption, versus Toyota's more diversified, patient approach across multiple alternative fuels and hybrid systems. By 2017, Toyota had fully divested its Tesla shares, severing the official ties but amplifying the underlying tension between the two giants. Fast forward to the present, and it's clear Toyota wasn't sitting idle during Tesla's reign. They were watching, learning, and, most importantly, planning. While their initial fully electric offering, the BZ4X, received a mixed reception, Toyota made it clear this was just the beginning of their battery electric offensive. Their strategy involves a rapid and significant expansion of the BZ Beyond Zero lineup. At the 2024 Beijing Auto Show, a major global stage, Toyota didn't just unveil a concept. They showcased two tangible new EVs, the BZ3C and the BZ3X, demonstrating a commitment to quickly fill different segments of the market. The BZ3X, in particular, signaled a dramatic acceleration of their mass-market EV ambitions. Reports indicate the BZ3X project moved from unveiling to production incredibly quickly, with manufacturing reportedly commencing on March 3, 2025. For now, this groundbreaking electric SUV is primarily operating within China. This is a strategic decision linked directly to its manufacturing base and key partnerships. Toyota has been working closely with China's GAC Group for years, a collaboration that has reportedly been leveraged to bring the BZ3X to market at an unprecedented scale and cost efficiency. And that brings us to the figure that has everyone in the industry buzzing, potentially causing sleepless nights for competitors: the reported starting price point of the BZ3X. While final export pricing remains uncertain due to international factors, in the Chinese market, reports suggest this fully electric family SUV starts at an almost unfathomable price, potentially as low as $13,000 USD equivalent. To put that in perspective, this is a price point often associated with used cars, not brand new, fully electric SUVs packed with modern tech. Toyota is reportedly offering several trims to cater to different budgets and needs, with reports indicating the base 430 Air Plus starting around $13,800, and higher spec versions like the 520 Pro Plus and the top-tier 620 Max climbing, to a reported peak of around $27,000. Even the fully loaded version is priced well below the entry point of many competitor EVs. This aggressive pricing isn't just competitive, it's potentially market redefining. So, how has Toyota reportedly managed to achieve such a drastically lower price point for the BZ3X compared to most other EVs on the market, especially those from Western manufacturers? While their long-standing partnership with GAC Group for manufacturing efficiencies in China is a significant factor, reports highlight that a major key lies in Toyota's battery strategy for this vehicle. Instead of exclusively relying on the nickel-cobalt-manganese (NCM) or nickel-cobalt-aluminum (NCA) lithium-ion chemistries widely used, particularly by Tesla, Toyota is reportedly utilizing lithium iron phosphate or LFP batteries in the BZ3X. This choice of LFP is a technical decision with massive financial and ethical implications. From a cost perspective, LFP batteries use iron as the cathode material, which is far more abundant, cheaper, and easier to process than the nickel and cobalt required for NCM/NCA batteries. This fundamental difference in raw material costs translates directly into lower manufacturing expenses for the battery pack, often the single most expensive component of an EV. But the advantages of LFP extend beyond just price. Reports indicate LFP batteries offer greater thermal stability, meaning they are less prone to overheating, and a longer cycle life, potentially lasting for more charging and discharging cycles before significant degradation occurs. While they typically have slightly lower energy density, meaning a given weight or volume stores less energy compared to NCM, NCA, ongoing advancements are rapidly closing this gap. Crucially, Toyota's reported shift to LFP also addresses significant ethical and environmental concerns that have plagued the EV battery supply chain. Reports have extensively documented the dire conditions associated with cobalt mining, particularly in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, where estimates suggest a significant portion of the world's cobalt is sourced. Issues range from hazardous working conditions and insufficient safety measures to, most disturbingly, persistent accusations of child labor being used in artisanal mines. The complex political landscape and lack of robust oversight in some mining regions make ensuring an ethically sourced cobalt supply incredibly challenging for automakers. Similarly, nickel mining can have substantial environmental impacts, including widespread water pollution from acid mine drainage, deforestation, and habitat destruction. By reportedly choosing LFP for their mass-market EV push with the BZ3X, Toyota is strategically sidestepping the reliance on these materials. They are potentially positioning themselves as offering a more ethically and environmentally conscious option to consumers concerned about the provenance of their vehicle's components. While still a relatively newer entrant into the pure battery electric market compared to Tesla, Toyota seems to be arriving with a technology choice that proactively responds. So, let's circle back to the BZ3X. Toyota is reportedly launching this fully electric SUV with a starting price as low as $13,800 in China. Compare that starkly to Tesla's most affordable offering, the Model 3, which starts significantly higher, reportedly around $35,000 in the US market, though prices fluctuate. This massive price difference alone explains why the BZ3X, even with its initial limited availability, is generating such intense discussion and concern among competitors. But here's the crucial million-dollar question that dictates its immediate impact on Western markets. If the BZ3X is currently only being manufactured in China and primarily sold there, why would that cause significant distress for Elon Musk, whose main markets are currently elsewhere? And, perhaps more importantly for consumers outside of China, what is the likelihood that this potentially game-changingly affordable SUV will ever officially make its way to dealerships in the US or Europe? The reason the BZ3X, even if currently China-exclusive, is reportedly a major concern for Elon Musk, and Tesla goes beyond its individual features or price. It represents Toyota demonstrating a capability that directly challenges one of Tesla's core perceived strengths: the ability to produce compelling EVs at increasingly lower costs. Toyota, through its deep partnership with GAC Group and its strategic embrace of lower-cost lithium iron phosphate (LFP) batteries, has apparently cracked the code on manufacturing EVs in high volume at an incredibly low base cost. This efficiency and material choice not only drives down the price but, as discussed, helps skirt some of the ethical and environmental issues associated with materials like cobalt and nickel, giving Toyota a potential long-term advantage and a compelling narrative. Furthermore, Koji Sato's persistent highlighting of Toyota's solid-state battery research, despite Musk's reported dismissal as hyperbolic nonsense, suggests Toyota is methodically working on the next generation of battery technology as well. Toyota's methodical, long-term approach, its massive scale as the world's largest automaker, and its apparent success in making EVs significantly more affordable in a major market like China poses a fundamental threat to Tesla's business model and future growth prospects globally, not just in China. If Toyota can build a solid, affordable EV like the BZ3X for $15,000, the pressure is on everyone to compete at that level eventually. However, getting the BZ3X from China to lucrative Western markets like the US and Europe faces substantial, immediate Hurdles primarily related to trade policy and regulatory divergence. As of April 18, 2025, the tariffs imposed by the U.S. government on imports from China, initially escalated during the Trump administration, are fully implemented, with rates on vehicles reportedly reaching as high as 145%. This means attempting to export a BZ3X manufactured in China to the United States would more than double its price upon arrival, making that attractive $13,800 starting point completely irrelevant for the American consumer. The vehicle would suddenly cost well over $30,000 before even considering transportation, dealer markups, or necessary modifications. This directly contradicts Toyota's stated mission with this vehicle: to make EVs truly affordable. Europe faces similar, though slightly less draconian, barriers. Tariffs on Chinese-made vehicles entering the European Union reportedly range from 25% to 30%. Still a significant cost adder that would push the BZ3X's price well above its disruptive level, placing it in direct competition with many existing EVs that might be better tailored to European tastes and regulations. Beyond tariffs, the BZ3X, as designed and built for the Chinese market, would require extensive and costly modifications to comply with the stringent safety, environmental, and technical regulations in both the US and Europe. We're talking about fundamental requirements like crash safety testing. Vehicles need to pass dramatically different and specific crash tests administered by bodies like NHTSA in the US or Euro NCAP in Europe, potentially requiring significant re-engineering of the vehicle's structure. Battery certifications must meet specific Western standards, like UL in the US or various EU directives. Software and cybersecurity regulations, which are rapidly evolving, would need to be met, potentially, requiring rewriting significant portions of the car's operating system. Even advanced features like the BZ3X's self-driving capabilities would need to be recalibrated and potentially limited or redesigned to comply with the patchwork of different laws and liabilities governing autonomous systems in various U.S. states and European countries. Redesigning and revalidating the BZ3X to comply with this labyrinthine set of regulations would be a time-consuming and expensive undertaking. It would likely require substantial engineering work, extensive retesting, and navigating complex bureaucratic processes. This would inevitably lead to significant delays in bringing the vehicle to Western markets and add substantial costs to the manufacturing and certification process, further eroding that initial price advantage. So, does this mean the BZ3X, in its current form, is a definite no-go for the US and Europe? In the short term, it appears so. Toyota is likely to keep production focused in China to serve that massive market at the unbeatable price point. However, it would be a mistake to dismiss the possibility entirely for the future. Toyota's history is one of global adaptation and responding to market demand. They didn't become one of the world's largest and most successful automakers by ignoring major markets. Their track record demonstrates an ability to take a core platform or concept and tailor it to meet diverse international regulations and consumer preferences. The Prius, for instance, evolved significantly from its initial Japanese market version to become a global phenomenon. Models like the RAV4 and Camry are sold and adapted for dozens of different countries, each with its own set of standards and consumer expectations. Toyota understands the international game better than almost anyone. If the demand signal from the US and Europe for a genuinely affordable, practical EV remains strong, and given the excitement around the BZ3X, it very well might, Toyota has the engineering prowess and the global manufacturing footprint to find a way. This could involve developing a specific version of the BZ3X or a successor model on a flexible platform like their eTNGA architecture, specifically engineered from the ground up to meet US and European regulations without the need for extensive, costly retrofitting of a China market car. Alternatively, Toyota has manufacturing plants scattered across North America and Europe. They could potentially establish production of a BZ3X-like model at one of these facilities or build a new line, potentially in Mexico, for the US market, or within the EU to bypass the high import tariffs altogether. This would require significant investment but is well within Toyota's capabilities if the strategic opportunity is compelling enough. For Elon Musk and Tesla, the BZ3X, regardless of where it's sold today, is a stark reminder that the competition is not standing still. Toyota isn't just passively observing the EV transition. They are actively entering the fray with a strategic approach that leverages their deep manufacturing expertise, global scale, and patience honed over decades. While Tesla pioneered the modern EV era with its disruptive innovation and rapid deployment, Toyota is approaching the mass market with a focus on affordability and established reliability, qualities that appeal to a vast segment of car buyers who have been hesitant to go electric due to cost, range anxiety, or concerns about long-term durability. Musk may choose to publicly dismiss Toyota's efforts as nonsense, but Toyota's quiet progress on technologies like LFP and solid-state batteries, coupled with their ability to deliver vehicles like the BZ3X at potentially revolutionary price points, suggests that their slow and steady approach could indeed be a powerful force capable of shaking up the EV world in ways that will impact consumers globally. So, as this fascinating competition unfolds, what does it ultimately mean for you, the potential EV buyer? If you're located in China, the BZ3X presents an unprecedented opportunity to acquire a modern, feature-rich electric SUV at a price point that makes EV ownership accessible to a much wider demographic than ever before. If you reside in the US or Europe, the wait for a vehicle like the BZ3X or a specifically adapted version might be longer, but the simple fact that Toyota is demonstrating the capability to build such a vehicle suggests that truly affordable, practical EVs are possible and could eventually reach your market. Toyota has big plans, and this vehicle signals their intent to compete not just at the high end, but at the mass market core, directly challenging the cost structures that have made many EVs unattainable for average consumers. Toyota's latest battery electric vehicle, the BZ3X, was clearly designed with the primary focus on the vast and cost-sensitive market in China, leveraging local manufacturing partnerships and battery technology to achieve its reported groundbreaking price. It may take significant time and effort before a version tailored for markets like the US or Europe navigates the complex hurdles of tariffs and regulations to become available there. However, this vehicle is more than just a regional offering. It's a powerful statement of intent from Toyota. They aren't just joining the growing list of automakers producing EVs, they are deliberately and strategically addressing the biggest barriers that have prevented mainstream adoption: the perception